Toyota champs, I'm out on Zuffa, the Chuffa, the V4, going down to some of my favourite roads down here. The storms are coming. We're going to have more floods in Melbourne. Yes, Melbourne, Australia. And yeah, one thing is we're getting the Queensland weather now, right? So if you don't know about Queensland, you know, they say raining one day, pissing down the next. Well, it looks like Queensland and New South Wales weather is coming down here. Fun little fact, did you know the Gold Coast in Queensland, everybody thinks sunshine, Gold Coast, oh, it's a great place. The Gold Coast in Queensland gets more rain, annual rain, than Melbourne and London combined. I hope I get back before the storm here. But let's talk about the new 2023 StreetFighter V4 S and V4 SP2. And yeah, they announced it last night, Ducati, and I've got to say, they look nice. Just on the looks, I love that grey one. Hey, I'm not one for the dark one. I'll always get a red Ducati, but that dark sort of narrow grey or whatever it is, very nice, very understated, just very nice. Oh well, as understated as Street Fighter can be, because they're very aggressive sort of things. The red one, yes, I like it. It's blacked out where the silver bits are on this model I have here, which I remember seeing Motor Millions do that, blacken it out, and I'm like, I don't know, I think it looks better with the silver bits because it looks more like a Ferrari, but that's subjective. It does look nice, you know, just a little bit of a refresh there, and it makes all the difference, right? They do look different and newer. Yeah, they got black decals, so they got a black Ducati decal or whatever. I don't like that. And there's a decal on the fairing too. I'm not sure if I like that either. I like less decals, but if you're going to have a decal, that black decal just doesn't look good to me. I would much prefer a white one, and that's the thing about the V2 and the V4. The V2 had black decals on it, like the Ducati logo was black, and I definitely preferred the white decal that's on this. So apart from that, the engine's the same. They raised the back a bit, which is like, oh, I don't know if I like that raising the back a bit, because one of the problems I have with this Street Fighter is, and this is due to my anatomy, due to my anatomy, it feels on the nose to me, and that's because I'm tall. So raising the back, I've actually lowered quite a lot of preload out of the rear, and I've added preload to the front to bring the back down and to lift the front a bit, because that's how I prefer it. Whoa, hyper-speed, fourth gear there. Well, that's one of the things too. They've updated the electronics, so you get full torque in every gear but the first gear, and that would be great for a racetrack. On the road, I gotta tell you now, first, second, third, fourth, you don't need any more torque. It's just nuts. It's way, it's got plenty of torque. In actual fact, one of the best things I like about these Street Fighters is how civil they are, and how they've sort of worked out how much torque each gear gets, that it's very rideable. I could imagine the new one, maybe with the electronics it's a bit different, but with the new one having full torque in second gear, maybe it's a bit less rideable than this, like as in harder to control. And they said also with the back suspension, with it being raised, it actually squats less, and that's another thing too. I released a lot of preload in this on the rear because I didn't like that it felt like it didn't squat when it was accelerated. It just went forward and it didn't squat at all, and it just felt unnatural. So they've made that even worse, like made it not squat, and it didn't even squat anyway, straight out of the box, straight out of the factory. It didn't really squat at all, and I had to add preload to obviously lower it, but also to just make it feel like a normal bike, that it actually, you know, when you brake it pitch forward a little bit, and when you know, accelerate it squats a little bit. Now some people don't like that. On the track maybe that makes sense, you don't want it to squat at all, but certainly on the road I definitely want to feel something, you know what I mean. The speeds I ride, you know, I don't hammer it that much, so I'm not on the track. But all in all, it's a good, they've got the SP with all the SP stuff. I like the exhaust you can get on the new SP. It's like the Panigale exhaust. Another thing about the new StreetFighter, bigger tank. Oh my god, they needed a bigger tank, because these things guzzle, and yeah, it definitely needs a bigger fuel tank, that's for sure. So that's a really good thing. I don't know if that electronics package, the new electronics package, is able to be flashed on these ones. It may be, because I know with the Panigale, the new electronics for the 2023 model on the Panigale, you can flash it back to the current 2020 models. I didn't read anything about that being possible on the StreetFighter, so probably not. I'd say if you were going to go on track, you might want that full torque in the second, third, fourth gears, whatever. But I mean, whatever amount of power, whatever amount of torque this has, it's way more than I can exploit on the road. I mean, on the track, yeah, I understand, but on the road, I mean, yeah. Actually, what's going on here with this gate? That gate's open sometimes and they go down there. But anyway, yeah, the new StreetFighters. What do you guys think? Is it a nice upgrade? Bit of aesthetics, you know, tweak the suspension. Actually, one other thing, they made it more comfortable, so you get less heat into your leg or whatever. See, and this is the thing, a lot of people said, what are you complaining about? The StreetFighter doesn't get too hot. Well, sometimes the fans stay on for me when I turn it off. I think that's a heat issue. I don't know if that's electronics or heat issue, but the fact that they've actually made it more comfortable so the rider feels less heat just tells you there was an issue. And did they include a fuel gauge? They didn't say anything about a fuel gauge, so I doubt it very much. So anyway, we'll just go through this twisty bits, why not? Just go through this twisty bit. They look good. For once, I would actually consider that grey one, although if you get a Ducati, for me it's always got to be red. So I would consider it, but at the end of the day I would never get it. I would always get the red Ducati. Yeah, I'll be interested to see 2023. The 2024 might be new models of Panigales and new StreetFighters. So is this enough to beat the, you know, the BMW, what is it, the S1000R? That looks really good. It looks a bit transformery, but and so does this, to be honest. Yeah, will this be good enough to, you know, will that be better? Because this is obviously the goat of this is the goat of nakeds. Oh, I was just concentrating there for a sec. This is the goat of nakeds. Will that S1000R be better than this? Whoa, you'll take my breath away. Yeah, anyway, catch you next one, guys. Tally ho.